Milan Cathedral rises like a dream carved from moonlight, its marble pale and luminous beneath the restless theatre of the sky. It does not simply stand in the centre of the city, it seems to hover there, almost weightless despite its immense scale, as though some act of devotion had summoned it out of light itself. Every spire reaches upwards with yearning, slender and intricate, as if the whole cathedral were caught in an endless gesture of longing, in love with heaven and unable to stop stretching towards it. Its façade is a miracle of patience and imagination. Each arch, pinnacle and carved flourish appears touched by a hand determined to give stone the delicacy of lace. The countless statues that inhabit its heights and corners stand in silent reverence, an assembly of saints, martyrs, angels, and watchful figures suspended between earth and sky. They seem less like decoration than a congregation frozen in prayer, guardians of centuries who have witnessed the passing of empires, the turning of seasons, and the ceaseless movement of life in the square below. In their stillness there is something tender and eternal, as though the cathedral remembers every soul that has ever stood before it in wonder. When morning comes, the first light brushes the marble with a faint blush, and the cathedral stirs awake in soft radiance. By noon it gleams with almost unearthly brilliance, every surface reflecting the sun so that it appears both solid and dissolving, a monument and a mirage at once. Then, as evening descends, its beauty deepens into something more mysterious. The white stone turns silver, then pearl, then ash, touched with gold, and the whole vast structure seems to retreat in reverie. In that hour of fading light, Milan Cathedral is at its most enchanting, not only seen but felt like music lingering in the air after the final note has been played. To stand before it is to feel time loosen its grip. The noise of the city falls away, or at least becomes distant, and one is left in the presence of something that belongs equally to history and to dream. The cathedral is not merely a masterpiece of architecture, though it is certainly that. It is an act of collective faith made visible, the patient labour of generations shaping hope into form. Every detail speaks of human hands reaching beyond themselves, trying to honour mystery with beauty, to answer the vastness of the divine with craftsmanship, devotion and awe. And yet, for all its grandeur, there is intimacy in it too. Beneath its soaring scale and dramatic splendour lies a quiet vulnerability, a sense that this immense creation was born from something deeply human, the need to praise, to remember, to seek meaning, to leave behind a trace of wonder. Milan Cathedral is a hymn in marble, yes, but also a love letter to beauty, to faith, to endurance, and to the dream that something made by human hands might still touch eternity. Inside Milan Cathedral, the world seems to hush itself. Light slips through the stained glass in jewelled colours, falling across the stone like a whispering blessing. The vast forest of columns rise towards the vaulted ceiling with such grace that the eye can hardly find where earth ends and heaven begins. There is a solemn beauty in every corner, marble glowing softly, shadows gathered like prayer, and silence so deep it feels almost sacred. The air seems filled with centuries of devotion, as if every footstep, every candle, every breath has left behind a trace of longing. To stand within the cathedral is to feel both small and strangely infinite, held inside a place built not only by human hands, but by faith, patience and dream. It is less a cathedral than a poem in stone, where grandeur and tenderness meet in perfect stillness.